Hare Krishna, Karma Yoga. And in this chapter, Krishna is revealing to us all the secrets how to get back to Him by doing our prescribed duties as prescribed in the authorized scriptures. Now, in the verses number 17 and 18 of this chapter, Krishna explained about the qualities of a self-realized person. A self-realized person is that person who knows fully well that he is not this material body, but he is spirit soul. Hence, he is always absorbed and satisfied serving Krishna, as he knows that he is an eternal servant of Krishna, and he does not have any other obligatory duties as compared to the people who want to enjoy this material world. Now, being totally free from all the worldly duties as prescribed in the scriptures, he might or might not carry out any such duties, but still such a self-realized person does all his material duties just to set an ideal example in front of the common people. And in the previous verse, Krishna gave the example of Janak Maharaj, who was a self-realized person and was a very high-level devotee of the Lord, who had the goddess of fortune, Goddess Lakshmi, as his daughter Sita, and Lord Vishnu, Sri Ram, as his son-in-law. We can very well imagine the status of King Janak, but just because he was the king of Mithila, he did all his prescribed duties as a king and as a father of Mother Sita, just to teach his subjects how to do all the prescribed duties and live a satisfying life. Now let's recite the verse number 21 and see what Krishna is teaching us in this verse. Yat yat acharati shrestha tat tat devetaro janah sayat pramadam kurute lokastadano vartate. Yat yat acharati shrestha tat tat devetaro janah sayat pramadam kurute lokastadano vartate. Word meanings: yat, whatever, yat, and whichever, acharati, does he act, shrestha, respectable leader, tat, that, tat, and that alone, eva, certainly, itarah, common, janah, person, saha, he, yat, whichever, pramanam, evidence, kurute, does perform, lokaha, all the world, tat, that, anuvartate, follow in the footsteps. Now Krishna is telling Arjun that Arjun, whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps, and whatever standards he sets by his exemplary acts, all the world pursues. Now let us try to understand this verse with the help of the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that in the previous verse, Krishna gave an example of King Janak to Arjun and told Arjun that if King Janak, who was situated in such a high platform of devotion and still did all his prescribed duties as a king and as a father of Mother Sita, so how can Arjun refuse to do his prescribed duties, which is to fight with his enemies in the battlefield? Further, Krishna tells to Arjun that any work done by great men becomes an example for the common people, because great men are leaders and common people have a tendency to follow the footsteps of great leaders. Srila Prabhupada says that a leader has a huge responsibility and can very easily mold the common people, provided he himself is well versed with the knowledge of the standard books of moral and spiritual codes like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwatam, Ramayana, and in addition to these, he must be thorough with the famous principles of Chanakya and Vidurji. Like in Chanakya Niti, it is written that every man should treat all the other women other than his wife as mother, and should treat others' money and wealth as human waste. So in nutshell, it is said that the leader can become an ideal leader only if he has these qualifications. Further, Srila Prabhupada says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasizes that a leader should first practice the ideals and then preach. For example, if a leader smokes, he can never advise others not to smoke. Similarly, if a mother watches TV or plays the games on mobile phone, then how can she stop her children from watching TV or playing games on the mobile phone? So we see that a leader must first practice everything that he wishes to preach, and then only his preaching becomes effective. Now coming to the present verse number 21, Krishna is telling to Arjun that you are a great man and whatever action you do will be automatically learnt by the common people. Arjun is a famous warrior, and he is not only famous in the earthly planet but also amongst the demigods of the heavenly planets. And most importantly, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is his chariot driver. So we can very well understand Arjun's status. For example, if we ever get an opportunity to take a selfie with Modi ji or with Yogi ji or with any other prominent personality, then we will feel so fortunate. And here, Krishna, the supreme controller of the entire creation, has accepted to become the chariot driver of Arjun, who is his most dear friend and his cousin as well. Now coming to the most important part of the shlok is this, that if a famous person like Arjun doesn't fight and runs away from the battlefield, it will be so shameful for all the Kshatriyas and the Pandavas, and especially for Krishna. So Krishna is making Arjun realize with the example of Janaka that how he, being self-realized and not wanting anything of this earthly planet, still did all his prescribed duties just to teach the common people. Our Srila Prabhupada is Jagat Guru and the spiritual messenger of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada is the best leader who has taught all his disciples by following himself each and every principle prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. No one can be ever like Srila Prabhupada, who has worked endlessly day and night to translate the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he requests us to read his books and be liberated from the endless cycle of birth and death. Srila Prabhupada is so loving and merciful that he keeps thanking everyone for helping him fulfill the mission of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur. I have yet to find anyone who is more humble and lovable than Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is in true sense the best teacher and a true leader who could mold the hippies into Krishna devotees. Srila Prabhupada is the most befitting example to be an ideal leader who is teaching all of us how to become an ideal disciple of the Guru. So we see that this verse number 21 is very important for each one of us, as all of us are leaders in some or the other way. Either we can be parents, teachers, or the head of any institution, and we have people always around us who constantly watch us and learn from us. This is why we must understand the responsibility to be the torch bearer for many, many people, and we need to have the proper knowledge of the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Ramayana to become ideal leaders and to never misguide the common people. Srila Prabhupada says that whatever action is performed by a great man, common men will automatically follow his footprints. Therefore, good leaders are wanted. Prabhupada further says that there is no need to educate every citizen individually. But if we have a good leader, then all the citizens will automatically become good by following the exemplary actions of the leader. Now, at the end of this verse, let us try to answer the following questions so that we can feel confident that we have understood the shlok very nicely. Question number 1. What is the qualification of a guru or Acharya? Question number 2. Who are considered to be the natural leaders of innocent people in general? Question number 3. For whom is it important to be well versed in the scriptures and the various principles? And the last question is, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the most important thing before anyone starts preaching? Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavo ki jai. I thank everyone for watching the videos of Bhagavad Gita very, very attentively. Please do write your comments, and in case you have any questions, do write. I will surely try to answer them by the help, by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,